the cellar here. So Mr. Chris Bostic with Pilgreen and Bostic Engineering is here, representing Vision Development and Construction, requesting a parking variance for an addition to the building located at 3300 Eastern Boulevard in a B3 zoning district. Mr. Bostic and Mr. Howell, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay.
The record needs to show I'm recusing myself.
All right, Mr. Bostic, tell us what you're going to do.
All right. Again, my name is Chris Bostic. I'm with Pilgreen and Bostic Engineering. I appreciate you all agreeing to meet on a special session. I know it's inconvenient, and I thank you for giving up the extra time. What we have is we have a new body shop that is going to go into an existing building off of Atlanta Highway, and they are going to add additional space. And we are asking for an additional variance for parking. The current variance says 42. Our site plan that the city has reviewed and every department I know of has approved currently has 46. So we did find a few more spaces, but this is a body shop. This is, not an oil change place. You're not going to have a lot of customers sitting around. This is the kind of place where you go, you drop off your car, you sign a contract, and 2 weeks later you come back and pick up the car because there's a lot of intense work that's going to be done. The maximum employee load is going to be between 15 and 20 people. And again, the customers will have minimum amount of time actually at the site because they don't do any work that you stay there and wait for them to finish. So that's why, we feel that even though we're zoned B3, that this particular application is a good choice to request this variance. Are there any questions?
Okay, you're asking for a 49 space parking variance is what our paperwork says, so that's what we'll be deciding. Any questions from board members? Okay, any questions from anyone in the audience?
I have a question.
Ms. Shaw.
You said that the people are going to bring their cars there to be repaired, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't think that at any time that would be that you would really need the parking spaces that's required?
No, ma'am. I mean, this is a body shop. A lot of times these cars are going to be towed in. The owner would come in to sign some paperwork, and then they wouldn't return until their car is completely finished. You're not going to have high volumes on any particular day of people coming in and out. They've also got, storage area in the back where, vehicles, most of this site will be open bays where they're working on cars. Mm-hmm. There's a small little office up front. I wish I had thought to bring the outline of the building. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
But
what you're saying is that it's not going to be where you need to park these cars that are there for repairs outside, and you're not talking about parking spaces for them. You're talking about parking spaces for customers that are coming in to get a service and get on out.
The parking spaces are for customers and employees. Most of the actual cars will be inside the building.
Okay.
And if there is an overflow, I'm glad you mentioned that, they are going to fence in the back area, and they will be using screening in the fence so that you will not see the back through the fence from the street.
Okay, I understand.
I'm glad you asked that because that gave me a chance to point that out.
Okay, that's all, Mr.
Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. Does anyone in the audience care to address this item? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion.
Sir,
Wait a minute.
you need to come up to the mic.
Okay.
You said it's gonna be on Atlanta Highway, sir? Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Richard Grant.
Pull that down to your face.
Okay.
There you go.
My name is Richard Grant. I've been a citizen of Montgomery for over 60-some years. So military retired, post office retired, and I'd just like to say I think that you all have been doing a good job on a lot of decisions that y'all have been making, especially when it comes to some of these clubs and all that stuff and where places need to be put, and letting people get alcohol license and stuff like that. But what I wanted to ask the young man was that what about on Atlanta Highway was this gonna be? And because Atlanta Highway can be kind of crowded at times, for coming, for through traffic. And you said that it was going to be fenced in where nobody can see through the fence. Well, it won't be an eyesore because we have a lot of people coming in, especially during the summertime, passing through Montgomery. Atlanta Highway is a place where everybody, go up and down shopping. So I just wanted to know, we got enough eyesores around town, so in some areas. So, and by Atlanta Highway being a main thoroughfare, I just want to know, would it be in a place where it would be where people can see it and have.
Mr. Bostic, you said Atlanta Highway, but this is on Eastern Boulevard.
Yes.
On Eastern Boulevard.
I was once sitting here wondering if I had misspoken.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I did, I apologize. Let me show you right
It's
here.
up on the
This shows you-
screen, Chris. It's up on the screen.
Oh, there it is.
Eastern Boulevard.
I apologize.
Okay.
I have too many things in my mind at one time. It's on the Eastern Boulevard on the service road there,
Right.
and that's an existing building there that they're going to do an addition in the back. And if you look right here, they're going to put a fence here and fence in this whole area back here, and it'll be the kind of fence that has the screening in it, so you can't see through it.
Now, what's that located near on the Eastern Boulevard?
I'm trying to, here you go, right here. This right here is, if I can read that, Buckford Road. This is Park Boulevard.
Near Carriage Hill?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's across the bypass from Carriage Hills.
Okay. That's Carriage Hill is right here.
It is,
apartment.
it is next
No,
to,
right there, by that Walmart?
Or
No,
no,
not
Walmart's
that
further
far.
down here.
Okay.
it's next to an animal clinic.
Oh, I know exactly where you're talking about there.
Yeah, that veterinarian out there.
Okay. Well, same thing with Eastern Boulevard, because you got a lot of traffic going through there. So, I mean, that was my concern, if it's gonna be an eyesore or not.
And I apologize for misspeaking. I didn't realize I had said Atlanta Highway. But it's on the service road.
Right.
So, people will get off the service road at the light, and then they'll get into the facility.
Right.
So, as far as traffic, and also, when you're talking about a body shop, you're talking about accidents or.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you're not talking about, like a Walmart where you've got 200 trips a day or more. This is gonna be, a few cars coming in per day.
Last question I have for you, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Will you be at any time, and I know, as the time go on with your business being there, do you feel that's gonna be an overflow of vehicles that's gonna be in? Because you said 49 with the customers, and then the vehicles coming in, if they gotta wait on the vehicles, more vehicles can come in. You feel that anytime there'll be an overflow, where they will be outside of that perimeter.
If there was an overflow, it would be behind the fence, just for security.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you all.
I have a question.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I know that in the past, especially since COVID, I've gone to body shops, and because of the chip shortages, there have been some quite delays on auto parts. So I've seen at numerous body shops where it's taking forever to get these parts in, and they're not stopping customers from bringing their cars, so they're getting an overflow of cars just parked everywhere. So do you not think that you would need these 91 spaces for an overflow area? Because where are these cars going to park, especially if they're finishing up the cars? Customers have a certain amount of time to come and pick up the car. Is that enough space do you have a plan showing the building layout as far as overflow area?
There's about, trying to remember offhand, either 6 or 7 bays inside, and the back area, we're talking about strictly traditional parking with the minimum amount of aisle space and everything. If they have an overflow, they can always double stack and triple stack cars in the rear, because that's not a public area where people are going to be driving in and out of. So they can park bumper to bumper, you know, and fit more cars in there should they need the overflow. But the number of people that are actually going to be coming in the shop in a day and the amount of time they're spending there is going to be very low. So it's mainly just the number of employees that are there that day. And
Well, yeah,
and
I
a few spaces
understand
for
that,
cars.
but you know, at these body shops I've gone to, it's not the people that's coming. Like when I went to take my car, I didn't have a parking space. That parking space was taken due to a car that was being dropped off by a tow truck because they didn't have room in the back.
I don't know if they would, well, I don't think they would leave that out there overnight. They may do that for
They didn't have any
inspection.
room in the back, so that's the only area that, and I've seen that at multiple locations.
I mean, there is always the possibility of a pinch point somewhere along the way where they have a catastrophic business load, which would be, you know, which would be a difficult situation. But aside from the direct number of parking space, which again, we're talking about legitimate 9 by 18 minimum, City of Montgomery standard with a proper amount of driveway parking spaces. We're not talking about the amount of square footage that you see on the northwest side, where you could probably, on that northwest corner, park 5 cars in a row and not have any issues, as long if they were going to have to sit there for a month because you had to wait for a chip to come in from somewhere, you could just stack them there. So there's more storage. We're talking about parking. And so, you know, I know that I can't say 100% because I'm not an expert on this kind of business, that there will never be a time in their career that they don't have so many cars that they have trouble storing them, but they felt confident that there was plenty of storage back there for all their needs.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, board members? Any other comments from the audience? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request for a parking variance as presented.
All right, Mr. Reese made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All right, so we're good. And let's vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 opposed and the rest are in favor. So 5 in favor. The motion carries.
And I recuse myself.
No other business is on the agenda today, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.